Hi, my name is Courtney Addison, and on April 16th of 2020, my 3-year-old son was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. Everything started about 2 weeks prior. Caden was complaining about leg pain, and that slowly progressed to a fever, a lack of appetite, and my baby was an eater. And also, he would cringe in pain whenever we tried to pick him up. I knew something wasn't right, and so I kept pressing his pediatrician because I just knew that this wasn't normal. So after about 2 weeks, we ended up taking him to get some blood work done, and we were admitted into our local children's hospital. We ended up staying overnight, and after several delays the next morning, a doctor finally came in and said that he needed to talk to my husband and I, and he needed to bring in a couple more people. About 2 minutes later, he walked in with another doctor who later became his oncologist, a chaplain, and a nurse. And that's when I heard 3 words that literally knocked me off my feet. Caden has leukemia. I remember that day so clearly. I remember my hands and feet went numb. I began to sob like I never sobbed before, and I just collapsed in my husband's arm. And then I just remember crying out to God, why? Why my son? Why my family? And after a while, I got angry, and I walked back in that room on a mission. I walked back in that room on a mission to get my son through every single day of chemotherapy. Shortly after his diagnosis, someone walked into our room and handed us a blue book bag. And they told us that it was called a ready bag. So after we received the blue ready bag, I remember sitting on the bed with Caden, and we opened up the bag and we were very excited to see what was inside. Caden, his favorite part was his own personal tablet that he did not have to share with his older brother, Christian. And that bag meant so much to us because I am a preparer, and this completely rocked my world. I wasn't prepared to stay in the hospital for several weeks after we found out about diagnosis. That bag also helped us through all of our bi-weekly, weekly, and monthly chemo treatment appointments that we had to take Caden to. And so we would just grab that bag and go. And then there were a couple of other scary times where he had to be rushed to the emergency room due to a fever or being lethargic or other side effects from his chemotherapy. So having that ready bag with all of our essentials by our door and being able to focus on Caden and just grab the bag and go was incredibly helpful as we went through this journey. So I'm so thankful for the Rock Solid Foundation. I'm thankful for all the volunteers that take the time to put these blue bags together, because it helps parents like me, families like us, to be able to just quickly go and not have to think, so that our focus can be on our child and getting them the care that they need. So right now, Caden is coming up on the end of his treatment. He will officially be done with chemotherapy on April 16th of this year. So after 2 long years, we are finally coming and approaching the end.